10 Best Picks presents the top 10 best Android smartwatch. Starting at number 10. Garmin Vivoctive 4. If you're looking for a fitness tracker that really balances form and function, the $349.99 Garmin Vivoctive 4 should be at the top of your list. This feature-rich GPS fitness tracker smartwatch hybrid boasts a stylish design, more than 20 preloaded sports apps, onboard music storage, and support for Bluetooth headphones. It builds on its excellent predecessors with the addition of on-screen workout animations, pilate support and enhanced yoga metrics, pulse oximeter readings, respiration tracking, and underwater heart rate monitoring. It's expensive, but it offers tremendous value for the price, earning our editor's choice for high-end fitness trackers. The Vivoctive 4 comes in two sizes. The 40mm model, somewhat confusingly named the Vivoctive 4s, is for wrists measuring 4.3 to 6.8 inches in circumference and comes in gold pink, rose gold white, silver gray, or slate black color options. The 45mm model, the Vivoctive 4, is for wrists 5.3 to 7.8 inches and comes in silver gray or slate black. The Vivoctive 4 features a color touchscreen with a durable Corning Gorilla Glass 3 lens, a comfortable textured silicone strap, a fiber-reinforced polymer case and polymer rear cover, and a stainless steel bezel. It's rated 5 ATM for water resistance, meaning it can withstand pressure equivalent to a depth of 164 feet. It has an always-on display, and you can tap the screen to trigger the backlight. The interface has a sleek and simple look, with a dark background, mostly white text, and color icons. I really like the stress level stats. Garmin uses a metric called heart rate variability, or the time between each heartbeat, to estimate when you are under stress and at rest, and gives you a score from 0 to 100. A stress score between 0 and 25 indicates you're at rest, 26 to 50 is considered low, 51 to 75 is medium, and 76 to 100 is high. In the Garmin Connect app, you can see how much time you spent in each range and whether you had enough restful moments to balance out your stress. The Garmin Vivoctive 4 is a terrific fitness tracker smartwatch hybrid, but at $349.99, it's far from cheap. If you're looking for a more affordable alternative, the Fitbit Charge 4 gives you many of the Vivoctive 4's features, including integrated GPS, sleep tracking, and mobile payments for $200 less. Plus, the Fitbit app lets you easily log your food intake, a feature you don't get with Garmin Connect. But you'll have to accept a few sacrifices. The Charge 4 isn't as stylish as the Vivoctive 4, it doesn't have a color screen, it offers only basic Spotify controls, and it doesn't support Bluetooth headphones, so you pretty much always need your phone nearby. At number 9. Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. The Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 is barely an upgrade on its predecessor, which came out earlier this year, but lacked the rotating bezel that made its beefier sibling, the Samsung Galaxy Watch, such a hit. But the refined version of Samsung's sporty smartwatch comes with a digital bezel and a few other tricks to become the best wearable in the company's lineup. The similarities to its predecessor are probably for the best. The Active 2 retains its predecessor's slimmer, minimal, modern look. It's almost certainly a more broadly appealing setup than the Galaxy Watch's girthy form, akin to the more masculine style of traditional watches. The Galaxy Watch Active 2 is a dead ringer for its predecessor, the 40mm version, anyway, since the new smartwatch is also available in 44mm, which is more manageable than the Galaxy Watch's hefty 46mm bigger model. As it stands, both options are pretty light, starting at 26 grams for the smaller aluminum and 30 grams for the larger, present but not weighty, when worn during a run. Like the original Active, the basic Watch Active 2 has an aluminum body. It comes in cloud silver, aqua black and pink gold colors. You can also get it in stainless steel for a higher price, which comes in silver, black and gold. The Active 2 has an Exynos 9110 dual-core chipset, the same as its predecessor and the original Galaxy Watch, for that matter, but at 115 GHz, it's fast enough. The smartwatch's 768 MB of RAM is fine for switching in and out of apps, though that's upgraded to 1.5 GB for the LTE model. That's enough power to zoom around the interface, though we still wish Samsung had been able to fit more than 4 GB of storage in there, especially since, once the operating system and baseline apps have been loaded up, you're left with 5 GB to fiddle with. Enough for plenty of songs and apps, but not leaving much room for bigger, bolder software. The Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 is a minor upgrade on its predecessor, adding a digital rotating dial, bigger version, currently inactive ECG, and LTE option. But it's also considerably more costly, putting a hefty price on only a few extra features. Number 8 of my list. Soundbeats. With the vast availability of smart bands and smartwatches out in the market, it's kind of hard to get a grasp of what's best for a certain budget. There are those that have balls-to-the-wall specs and features that are quite expensive, and there are those that are extremely basic but dirt cheap. What we have here today is a relatively affordable option that features the most critical features to aid you with your digital lifestyle without necessarily have to break your bank. We're talking about the Soundbeats Watch 1 from Digital Walker. Now, Soundbeats might be known for their awesome true wireless earbuds, but it's nice to see them venturing into a different line of AIT products starting with this smartwatch. With that being said, let's check it out and see everything it has to offer. The Soundbeats Watch 1 is IP68, which means it has ingress protection against dust and is waterproof up to ideally beyond 1 meter, suitable for various intensive sports including swimming, albeit swimming is not included on its trackers. As for the performance, it is usable and dependable for the most part, except that sometimes the raise to wake is somehow slow to react, and the user interface is also quite sluggish. But other than that, everything functions as it should. The trackers and stats monitoring works well, and all the nifty features are actually quite useful in a day-to-day productivity and lifestyle efficiency. In terms of battery life, charging takes about 2 hours and a full charge lasts for around 3 days. To conclude, the Soundbeats Watch 1 proved to be a decent option given the fact that it is Soundbeats' first try at a smartwatch and an AIT device other than true wireless earbuds. It works well for the most part, and it has decent design and build construction that should fit any wrist and outfit. It boasts a lot of nifty features that you might expect from any fitness band or smartwatch, including a variety of sports mode, health monitoring, and reminders to aid with your digital lifestyle. And it's relatively affordable too compared to most offerings out in the market. Coming at number 7. Fitbit Sense. The Fitbit Sense adds a whole slew of sensors to the Fitbit lineup to track everything from stress to blood oxygen levels, temperature, sleep, and even has an FDA-cleared electrocardiogram. On top of all that, the $329 Sense also doubles as a regular smartwatch and fitness tracker. And while the Sense still has fitness at its core, it wants to be your daily wellness coach now too. Fitbit is trying to bridge the gap between fitness and wellness with the Sense, a zone most wearables were already navigating even before the current COVID-19 health crisis. The Apple Watch has been leaning to wellness and health over the last few years, with a new blood oxygen feature, ECG app, and fall detection feature. Samsung's newer Galaxy watches include these metrics, as well as a stress test of its own, while the Oura Ring also collects temperature data like the Sense. The end goal for most of these is that all this data may someday help identify the onset diseases before the user experiences any symptoms. But in the meantime, all those charts, numbers, and scores from the Sense can feel overwhelming, especially for someone with no medical training. The Sense is the first Fitbit to include an onboard ECG app capable of producing a single lead electrocardiogram read in 30 seconds. Fitbit says that the ECG on the watch will also screen for possible arrhythmias that could indicate atrial fibrillation or a fib, but it can't detect heart attacks or other cardiac conditions. It recently received FDA clearance in the US, and it's now available for use in the US, some European countries, and Hong Kong. You can find a full list here. The Fitbit Sense hits the mark in many ways. It has strong battery management, excellent sleep tracking, and an array of new sensors that could be helpful to some people. It feels like it's trying to do a little too much at once, with features like stress management seeming more confusing than helpful. That said, in the months since its launch, Fitbit has added new features including automatic SpO2 tracking at night, Google Assistant support, and the ability to take calls from your wrist that has improved the overall experience. But unless you need an ECG and the stress tracker, you might be better off with a more basic and capable Fitbit Versa 3, which has many of the same features as the Sense. That way you'll save some dollars and wait for Fitbit to iron out the kinks for the next generation of Sense. At number 6. Fitbit Versa 3. The Fitbit Versa 3 is Fitbit's best smartwatch for most people. With an always-on display, built-in GPS, blood oxygen and temperature tracking during sleep, and a battery that lasts 6 days, the Versa 3 holds its own against some of its pricier competitors like the Apple Watch SE and even the Fitbit Sense. While you don't get the stress tracker and FDA-cleared electrocardiogram like the Sense, the rest of the Versa 3's smartwatch and fitness features are similar. As an added bonus, the Versa 3 costs $100 less than the Sense. The Versa 3 still has the same square-ish watch body and metal frame as its predecessor the Versa 2, but it now has a larger 1.58-inch AMOLED screen with slimmer bezels. It's bright, crisp and easy to see in direct sunlight. It can stay always on to give you a quick glance at the time without moving your wrist. And since Fitbit supports third-party watch faces, you have hundreds of different options to choose from. At this point it's safe to assume most Fitbit devices can handle your basic fitness tracking needs, measuring steps, distance, calories burned and heart rate. The Versa 3 covers the basics well and has the same fitness features as the more expensive Sense. It tracks 20 different activities including indoor and outdoor swimming and has automatic workout detection for some exercise types like running if you forget to start a session. The Versa 3 may not be the smartest watch, but it destroys the competition on battery life. Even firing on all cylinders with the always-on display active, a couple GPS workouts and sleep tracking, I was still able to get almost 3 days of battery out of the watch. You can extend this up to 6 days with more moderate use and by disabling the always-on display. The Versa 3 also charges faster than previous Versa watches. Fitbit says 12 minutes on the charger will get you a full 24 hours of battery and 30 minutes on the charger gets you to 100%. But if you're updating from a previous model, note that the Versa 3 uses a new, proprietary charger so it's not compatible with your previous one. It's magnetic and must be positioned at just a right angle to charge, which takes some getting used to. While the Versa 3 is a solid smartwatch option for Android owners, the Charge 4 may be a better bet for iPhone users wanting a Fitbit device. For about $100 less, you get a lot of the same great health and fitness features. You lose the sum of the added smart features like voice-to-text replies, but many of them aren't iPhone compatible anyway. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Halfway of my listed number 5. Letsfit ID 205 liters. It's not the most incredible smartwatch you've seen. But it's also not the worst. And you have to admit that the Letsfit Smartwatch ID 205L definitely looks like it costs more than $36. This budget-friendly smartwatch features a built-in heart rate monitor, notification support for everything from incoming phone calls to Snapchat, and is actually slimmer and more lightweight than its high-end counterpart, the Apple Watch Series 6. I wouldn't say it's a game changer, it's still a $36 smartwatch, not a $399 Apple flagship product, but as I discovered during my Letsfit smartwatch review, if you're just looking for casual fitness tracking and basic features, the ID 205L might be one of the best cheap smartwatches for you. I had trouble getting the sleep tracking to work properly, but this is probably at least partly due to my unusual sleep schedule. It's not uncommon for budget sleep tracking to only track sleep during night hours, which I personally think is ridiculous since the people most interested in tracking their sleep are probably people who don't have traditional night-only sleep schedules. The Letsfit ID 205L pairs with the VeriFit Pro app. It's not the most polished app, but it gets the job done and is fairly simple to navigate when you're setting up the watch and toggling notifications. The app does sort of act as a fitness tracking app. It has overviews of your activity, sleep, and heart rate data, but you can't manually enter in data. You can set up the app so it shares data with Apple Health or Strava. Both are better options for actually tracking your fitness data. The Letsfit Smartwatch ID 105L probably seems like it has a lot of caveats, and it does. It's definitely not a device that can compete with high-end smartwatches or even high-end fitness trackers. But it's also very inexpensive, so what did you expect? It all boils down to what you're looking for in a smartwatch. The ID205L is impressive in some areas. It's light, slim, and comfortable. It has a bright, easy-to-use display and an intuitive interface, and it offers quick notification and alerts from a variety of third-party apps. It's not the most accurate tracker, but it's not terrible, especially if you use it in conjunction with another device, such as your phone, which you'll need anyway for GPS connectivity. The Letsfit ID205L is nowhere near the best smartwatch, but it's not bad, especially for the price. Coming in at number 4 of my list. Apple Watch SE. If this is your first Apple Watch, or you're upgrading from a Series 3 or earlier, all you need to know is that the screen on the Apple Watch SE is quick to wake at the flip of your wrist, simple to navigate using the digital crown, and easy to see in broad daylight. It looks exactly the same as every other Apple Watch before it, with 2 sizes and the slimmer bezels that Apple first introduced in the Series 4. But if you're looking to upgrade from a Series 4 or Series 5, the SE won't feel like much of a step up. The one big difference between the SE and the Series 6 screens is that it doesn't have an always-on display. By the time I tested out the Apple Watch SE, I had already been wearing the Apple Watch Series 5 for almost a year. And as petty as it sounds, with the Watch SE it's hard to go back to raising my wrist to wake the screen. An always-on display makes glancing at your stats during a workout a lot easier and is something you probably won't know you need until you try it. Apple recently released a new type of silicone band called the Solo Loop with no clasps or buckles. It stretches like a rubber band around your wrist. Because there are no overlapping parts, you can't adjust the strap once it's on, so you'll have to make sure to order the right size. Apple sent me a size 4 loop with my review unit of the Apple Watch SE, and it felt a bit snug. Had I measured my wrist before ordering, which Apple recommends, I probably would have been better off with a size up. The loop will stretch a bit over time, however, so if you're in between sizes it's probably best to go a size down. The Solo Loop costs $50 on its own, the same price as a replacement silicone sports band. Even though the Apple Watch SE doesn't have Apple's FDA-cleared ECG or blood oxygen apps like the Series 6, it still has plenty of health features to boast about, including fall detection and heart health notifications, which can be helpful when caring for aging parents. If you're an iPhone user and have been debating whether or not to get an Apple Watch, this is the one you should get. The Apple Watch SE has enough health, fitness and smart features to make it worth your while, but its lower price makes it much more accessible than the flagship Apple Watch. If you do need more advanced health features or the always-on display, you can't go wrong with the Apple Watch Series 6, which we've also reviewed. What I don't know yet is whether I can recommend buying a $300 plus Apple Watch SE for a child. My kids are still too young anyway, but if it would help keep them connected without getting them addicted to screens, then maybe it'll prove to be a worthy investment after all. At number 3. Fitbit Versa 2. After the launch of Fitbit's first smartwatch, the Ionic, the company struggled to compete with the likes of the Apple Watch and dedicated running watches from Garmin. Then, along came the Fitbit Versa, and it turned the company's fortunes around. So it's no wonder Fitbit quickly followed that up with a cheaper, more pared-back Versa Lite smartwatch, while also refining the original Versa into a much-improved Versa 2. With the Versa 2, Fitbit has again proved that you don't necessarily need top-notch features to make a terrific fitness watch, and it doesn't need to burn a hole in your wallet. When it comes to the design, Fitbit's mantra seems to be one of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The squircle design of the Apple Watch and the original Versa seems to have been embraced by users, and Fitbit has carried that onto the Versa 2. At first glance, the new fitness watch does look strikingly similar to its predecessor, but closer inspection reveals a few small tweaks giving the Versa 2 a very stylish look indeed. With a depth of 0.47 inches, it's only a tiny bit thicker than the Apple Watch 3, but since the chassis tapers inward toward the heart monitor underneath, it actually appears slimmer. And, with a screen size of 40mm, it should fit most wrists. Talking about the screen, that's the one major hardware improvement worth writing home about. Unlike the LCD display on the Versa, the second-generation Fitbit smartwatch has steps into the age of the bright AMOLED touchscreen, which is protected by Gorilla Glass 3. With the Versa 2, Fitbit proves that less is more. The fitness brand has taken everything that made the original a compelling budget smartwatch, improves on those features, adds a somewhat fiddly voice assistant, and spits out a near-perfect fitness tracker that comes with some smartwatch perks. It's one of the best fitness watches from Fitbit, but the lack of a GPS chip means you'll need to carry your phone wherever you go. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Coming at number 2, Apple Watch Series 6. The Apple Watch has been our long-standing editor's choice for its excellent performance, unparalleled app selection, and ample health and fitness tracking features. With the Series 6, Apple builds upon its flagship smartwatch with the addition of a blood oxygen saturation sensor that calculates your SpO2 level on demand and captures periodic background measurements when you're sleeping and inactive. Putting this technology in a consumer wearable has never been more important given the global COVID-19 pandemic, as it indicates how well your circulatory and respiratory systems are delivering oxygenated blood to your body and can help you gauge whether a hospital visit is necessary. Beyond this, Apple's changes include a faster processor, an always-on altimeter that lets you see your elevation in real time, and a bump in screen brightness when your wrist is down. These improvements, plus many new additions in watchOS 7, including a 20-second hand-washing timer and sleep tracking capabilities, make the Apple Watch Series 6 the company's best smartwatch yet and our new editor's choice. Like it or not, the Series 6 has the distinctive squarish design with rounded corners the Apple Watch is known for. The 40mm model measures 1.56 by 1.35 by 0.42 inches, while the 44mm model is a touch taller and wider, but the same thickness, at 1.73 by 1.48 by 0.42 inches. Looking at the Series 6 next to the Series 5, it's hard to see a difference aside from the case color and band. Indeed, Apple hasn't made any changes to the size or resolution of the display. To that end, the 40mm model has a 1.57-inch display with 394 by 324 pixels, while the 44mm Series 6 has a 1.73-inch display with 448 by 368 pixels. On the inside, the Series 6 features 32 GB of storage and Apple's new dual-core S6 system and package, which it says delivers up to 20% faster performance than the S5 chip in the Series 5 and Watch SE. The S6 also allows for improved screen brightness. The display still features a maximum brightness level of 1000 nits, but it's brighter in ambient mode when you look down at your wrist. Since the Apple Watch made its debut 5 years ago, one of its primary functions has been to help you monitor your health. The Series 6 delivers two key features that build upon this greatly and can help keep you safe in the age of COVID-19, an SpO2 sensor that lets you monitor your blood oxygen saturation level, and a countdown timer that keeps you honest when washing your hands. The Series 6 further impresses thanks to a faster processor, a brighter always-on display, and an improved altimeter that can track your elevation changes in real time. And number 1. Apple Watch Series 3. The Apple Watch 3 has been superseded several times over, most recently by the Apple Watch 6 and Apple Watch SE, the latter of which could be a real rival for it since they're both budget models. But the Watch 3 remains on sale, which is more than we can say for the Apple Watch 4 or even the Apple Watch 5, and it has been discounted heavily now too. The Watch 3 is available in two forms, one with cellular connectivity and one with just GPS. As the replacement for the Apple Watch 2, this device was the flag bearer for fitness and longevity, with run and cycle tracking on board and a water-resistant casing for swimming, plus the same heart rate monitor on the underside. One other upgrade is the addition of music streaming, something that was announced at launch of the Apple Watch 3, but curiously wasn't there at launch. This feature, if you've paid all the money to have the LTE-enabled variant of the Watch 3 and are paying out extra cash each month to have the data, is actually quite a good addition. The design of the Apple Watch has become pretty iconic in the way that people just know you're wearing the item piece. When you see a footballer wearing a Fitbit, you'll have to peer to see which model it is, but with the Apple Watch it's instant recognition. Unlike the iPhone, we don't see the need to upgrade the design that much with a watch, and Apple's done pretty well to keep the chassis almost identical given that it's now packing in a new chipset and cellular connectivity in the two sizes of device. The two versions of the Apple Watch 3 impress, but the cheaper, non-4G version of the wearable delivers good value for money and top fitness capabilities from the wrist. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, share this video and hit the like button.